Andale, andale, andale. You like football, basketball, you're betting 10, 20, 50, 100, the friendly wager with the homie. This is the podcast for you. Never claim to be industry professionals. Just a couple homies trying to get you the quick flip off the sports ting. No long talking, no lies, no limits. This is No Cap Bets. Today is Thursday, September 8th. In the evening, we're giving you the best picks against the spread. We do the homework, you win the picks, and the NFL is here. Without further ado, I want to introduce my co-host. Say what up to the people. Heavy, what up?
What up, what up, what up, what up?
And our senior NFL top-to-top correspondent. It's been a minute. He's actually got some money on the game this evening. He's already going to work with his bets. I don't know what happened in his last fantasy season. I think he went back-to-back, if I'm not mistaken. So he might be looking for the three-peat this fantasy league. Say what up to the people, Grizz.
What is up, No Cap Nation? Definitely going for the three-peat, you know.
That's what's up. And without further ado, this episode has been brought to you by BetStamp. Line shopping for the most valuable odds became key. All of us are on BetStamp, and we actually had a breakthrough. Last season, we were really only betting with like one or two sports books. But as of April 1st in Toronto and the rest of the province that we come from, it just went crazy. How many sports books you got, Grizz?
I work with about 5, but I have about like 8.
Jesus. Heavy, how many sports books you got?
Probably the same amount. Just any of the new ones that made their way from America, right? So a lot of like FanDuel, you got DraftKings, all these new books making their way over to Canada. So it's good, man, just to have more options at Bet365.
Absolutely. And any game I place a wager on, I go to BetStamp first, decide which book gets the best payout, track my bet, and it's off to the races. Make sure you download the BetStamp app now and use the promo code NOCAPBETS. Once again, BetStamp with the promo code NOCAPBETS. If you haven't noticed, I'm remote. I'm doing this episode from Dominican Republic, but hey, it's week 1, so I had to get the homies together, and there was no way we were going to miss this episode. So without any further ado, let's get to it. We can't really do a no-cap recap because there was nothing to recap. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of CFL, you know what I'm saying? And we were talking about WNBA or whatever. But what's the score at the moment that we're recording? What's the score in the Buffalo game? Like, they started the second half, right?
Yeah, 17-10 for Buffalo.
Ooh. Buffalo came in 2.5-point favorites, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 3 minutes left in the third quarter. We'll be giving you guys updates, I guess, as this goes along, or by the time you'll listen, you'll hear us reacting live.
Throughout the whole game, whatever's left.
And, like we do in every single episode, we just want to let you know off the top what we're not involved in. It's been a while. We've definitely had like a nice long break from, our format with the show, but we just want to let you know that in sports betting, especially when you jump on in week 1, if you want to stay profitable, you cannot play every game on the board. You got to learn to stay away sometimes. So as important as it is to give you, the No Cap Nation, the winning picks, is just as important for us to teach you the discipline and restraint. So we're going to do this episode a little bit different. This segment called Not Involved just means at the end of the day, we want you to keep your paper. We're only going to give you the locks. We're not going to spend any time on any games that we're not touching. With that being said, New Orleans, Atlanta, not involved. That is at 5.5. You can get it for as low as 4. And San Francisco and Chicago, nobody's touching that. Philadelphia and Detroit, I'm kind of surprised. I was a little interested in that game, but not touching that. Miami and New England, heavy. I thought like maybe that would have been your swag. Even you, Grizz.
That line is kind of weird to me. Like just having the Pats as dogs. So there's a lot of faith into Miami's new team, I guess. Isn't Tyreek Hill over there?
That's a big fact. Yeah,
it's one of the signings, and what I don't know, is that enough for them? Like, is that enough for the number to be where it's at, is what I'm saying.
Apparently, Miami has never been a favorite in this matchup since like 2006. So
they do own this matchup as of late. They're like 4-0, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. But I'm not sleeping on Mac Jones personally, you know. But either way, the man, we're not involved.
Yeah.
Washington and Jacksonville. This is one that kind of like stuck out to me because I do think it's going to be a turnaround season for our boy Trevor Lawrence over there. But, you know, 2.5, I just can't call it. And fairly similar to like when we talked off air, you know, Heavy, you had mentioned that there was just some games you just didn't bother looking at. Like you wanted to focus strictly on your locks.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. Like I don't want to stress my head over anything that I can't get around to. Like how would I say, like anything that I don't know, like it's just such a new season, bro. So like, you know, I just want to focus on what I kind of know from last season, bring that into this season. But yeah, I just don't want to focus on games that just look weird to me. Like, there's a lot of movement in that as well, right? With free agency and shit. So yeah.
Yeah, well said. And Grizz Monsoon, you had a look in the AFC South for the Indianapolis Colts in Houston, Texas. You ended up like kind of taking it off of your locks last minute. Any comments on what made you want to stay away from this one?
It's more of a wait and see vibe. You know, I see there's a lot of expectations for the Colts. And there's not a lot for Houston, but Houston looks like a little scrappy team, you know.
Can I say one?
Oh,
sorry. Can I just say one thing about that game? The interesting thing that I see with the Colts too, this is like their 6th season with having like 6 different quarterbacks starting or some shit, which is kind of crazy to me.
Since Andrew Luck left, they haven't been straight at quarterback. So.
Yeah, I just want to add that in, but keep going.
Oh, no, that's okay. Remind me of who the starting quarterback for the Colts is this year.
Matt Ryan.
Matty Ice.
Ooh, that'll be an interesting watch. And I'm going to kind of jump with Grizz's kind of take on that one. Like, I just kind of want to see what this team looks like, you know, but that line is 7. None of us are touching it. 6.5 favorites, the Chiefs up against Arizona. I think that's going to be a great game to watch. But you guys know us. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's almost like one of our no cap commandments not to really touch Chiefs as a favorite, period, but definitely as a home favorite.
We don't do that on this podcast. So this definitely wouldn't be a game that I would look at, especially taking the Chiefs, like laying 6.5 close to a touchdown. And that's pretty much been a number for the last couple of seasons, right? Buying into the Chiefs.
No, but hold on. That line really jumped 3 points within the last week, bro.
What? But that goes to show you.
For what reason? I have no idea. Not involved, bro.
Yeah. Yo, Grizz sounded damn near offended. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like
I think it's just closer and closer to the season. So now like people are actually like looking to bet NFL games now. So with that happening, this is just such a public team. They must be getting so much money within the last couple of days or weeks. And yeah, that's why you see the line jumping to where it is. And I wouldn't be surprised if it jumps a little bit more come game time on Sunday. So, yeah.
Really good point there, Heavy. And one thing I will say is that a lot of the reasons why we probably went out of our way to fade the Chiefs last season was because you just ended up paying a premium for them and they would never cover. So, it seems like that is the case over here. Just for us to stay away from it. It's probably going to be a great watch. I'd love to see how that plays out, but it definitely won't be on my card. It won't be on a parlay. I'm not going to sprinkle a little pizza money on it. I think we just got to stick to what we want to lock in. And with that being said, those are the games that we are not touching, which means each of us have 3 locks going into week 1. And we know that that's exactly what you came here for. We're going to take a quick break on this. That was not involved. And we're coming up with the locks right after the break on No Cap Bets. Check out the Body Right podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Bless up. Jeans look too tight, but that shit just right. And you know what that means. It's time for the locks. You're listening to No Cap Bets, official No Cap Bets on Instagram. Let's get right to it. First lock, we're going to go with, well, I guess I'm the first one. You know what I mean? I'm excited about this. No, Grizz, you're the first one. Why don't you tell us who you have in the Cincinnati, and you know what? We predicted this. I'm not shocked. we put it out on the Instagram story. Yeah. Did we think that he was ever gonna leave Tomlin? You know what I'm saying? And it's week 1, so let's give the people what they want.
That's his dog, fam.
Yeah, that's his brother, like low key. Like we might have to check ancestry.com to see like if there is a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it though. First game, Cincinnati, they're up against Pittsburgh. This line, I have this line at, where is it? I have it at 6.5.
6.5. All right. Okay, nation. No bet Hart here. But my lock going into this will be these big games, and we're riding with the Steelers plus 6.5. Now, I know the Bengals just came from playing in the Super Bowl, and their upside is high. You know, you can't deny that. But if there's one thing about the NFL that I've come to learn is that sometimes that Super Bowl losing team is a little overvalued going into the next season, and that's a perfect example of what I see right here. The Steelers, while, you know, I know they have Money Mitch, and he's not, you know, the most name brand guy, but he's playing for a job. And he's a lot better than what they had last year with Big Ben, especially with the skilled players they have around them and the defense. Steelers are more than capable of keeping this very competitive game. Last year, the Bengals beat them up, so I believe that the Steelers will be ready for the challenge. So give me the Steelers plus 6.5.
Grizz's first lock, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Breaking news, shocker of the season already. He's taking the Pittsburgh.
Who's their QB, if you don't mind me asking? Is Ben still there?
Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky. Okay. Money. Whoa, he said that confidently.
Yeah, I don't know why he said it like that.
He's not a bum. Yo, hold on. You don't remember last time the Bears were good? Remember last time the Bears were good? Who was their quarterback?
I don't ever remember the Bears being good.
Yeah. Jay Cutler, maybe.
No, that was the time before.
Rex Grossman.
No, that was the time before.
That's the last time I remember them being good.
Let's stay on track, man.
Yo, shout out to Urlacher. He was holding them down. Okay.
Oh, man.
I do have a question for you, though. Great take, by the way. Grizz, welcome back. You know what I'm saying? And it's only right that you would take the Steelers. I remember having a look at their depth chart. They have Kenny Pickett, who is like right out of Pittsburgh. He's like third or second maybe on the depth chart. And they still have Mason Rudolph. You mentioned that Trubisky's playing for a job. Is it because there's so much quarterback competition in Pittsburgh?
Most definitely. And not only just in Pittsburgh, but like after this, you know? You never know where it's going to lead. He's playing for a long game, I believe, you know? So he has the youngin right behind him. Like, he knows what it is already. So he's not trying to come off the field.
Well said.
This is a second chance, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. This is that time where, you know, I kind of remember when it happened to Michael Vick over in the Philadelphia Eagles, and he stepped in for an injured McNabb, and that was fresh off of his, you know, dog scandal. And he had no choice. Like, you have to light it up in those kind of positions. So I'm with you on that one. I think, you know, Cincinnati's obviously going to be favored, but this is an division dog. That's another no cap commandment. It's week 1. I've got no qualms with where he's going. Grizz's first lock, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to keep this moving. No long talking. We're still going to keep it in the AFC North. My first lock is going to be in the Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets game.
No surprise here.
Hey, you're right. There's no breaking news right here. Okay. So yeah, my lock, damn right, is the Baltimore Ravens. And you're going to take a look at their last season trends. 3-8 ATS is a favorite. 1-5 ATS as an away favorite. But this was what I would like to call an off year. Nobody would ever have imagined that the Bengals would have lit it up the way that they did. Actually, I think we called the Bengals. I'm pretty sure all of us faded the Ravens up against the Bengals. So those are two covers that they couldn't make happen. But you got Lamar Jackson in the middle of a contract dispute negotiation, and this guy is going to have to prove he's worth every single dollar. And how do you go about doing that? It's by lighting up your opponents, which is exactly what I expect to happen. It seems like practice has been limited for their running back, J.K. Dobbins. So I do expect a lot of the run game. And there's been a lot of hype about the Baltimore Ravens O-line this year. So what I expect to happen is sometimes you have to know when it's time to go against the trends. And this is that time. No long talking for me. It's the Ravens by double digits. And that's my first lock, the Baltimore Ravens. I ain't got nothing to say about it. 7 points. Double digits, baby.
All I'm going to say is I'm not surprised.
That's all I'm going to say.
All right, that's what's up. And I'm going to keep it moving just to close out all the 1 o'clock games. We have Carolina versus Cleveland, still sticking with the AFC North on this one. And I am taking the Cleveland Browns to win this game outright. I had it at 1.5, but appears to be a pick 'em now. And this is just a big fade of Baker Mayfield. I tried to do a little bit of research. I think he's 29-30 as a starter, but I've seen in other places that he's 30-30 as a starter his whole career. At home against his former team, it sounds like an amazing story, but an amazing story that I'm not buying. I think people fail to realize like their running attack. Nick Chubb, one of the best in the game. The receivers, the most important part, the defense. You don't think Myles Garrett is going to want to like lay a beating on this guy? And this defense, they understand Baker Mayfield's tendencies more than any other team in the league. So there's a reason why I think this game is at a pick 'em and not 3 points or 2 and 2.5. I'm not falling for the sweet vindication story or the revenge spot. Since 2019, the Carolina Panthers are 3-6 ATS against non-conference opponents as a home favorite, which I'm expecting to maybe happen game time because it's at a pick 'em right now, but I'm sure there'll be a home favorite by Sunday. And they're 1-6 ATS, while Cleveland, on the other hand, in a very competitive AFC North, has the best record in non-conference games, 7-2 ATS, winning 3 of their last 5 on the road straight up. I'm not buying the Baker hype, guys. No long talking. It's Cleveland for the win. My second lock. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not involved in this game, but it would probably be the same thing for me. I got to fade Baker here, and I heard he was talking a little shit about Cleveland, so I think them boys, Myles Garrett and that defense is going to look to fold them up still. So I'd probably have to go on your side if I was betting it, so I like it.
Grizz?
Yeah, I'm not involved, but I definitely wasn't impressed with Baker's comments. So
Yeah, me
I
either.
wouldn't be surprised if he gets mollywopped on Sunday.
What did he say exactly? Or to
I'm not too sure, but it's just like basically like, yeah, he's going to come in and deal with those guys, his whole team.
No,
So,
he's gonna beat the shit out of them or something.
yeah,
Like
to be more specific, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a weirdo like that, you know. And I see
He does
that.
a lot of weird shit. And that's why I don't really like him, because he's always on some weird shit.
Just talking, big talking all the time. Yeah, like shut up, bro.
Small
Shut up.
guy too. You got a lot of big talk for a small ass guy. Like, cut it out, bro. But
Big,
yeah.
big facts. So there you got it. I've got 2 locks in. Grizz has got 1 lock in, but we haven't heard anything from Heavy, so I'm going to pass this right to you. We got Tennessee up against the New York Giants. Tennessee's on the road, but they're 5.5 point favorites. Heavy, what's your take on this?
I'm gonna be going to Giants plus 5.5. I know this is no surprise to anybody here on the podcast. You guys know my love for the Giants. It's been a real love-hate relationship. But coming into the new season, we got a new coach, Brian Dable, who comes over from the Bills, who did amazing things with Josh Allen. Hopefully he could do the same with Daniel Jones. Now, looking back at the Giants' first 2 road games last season, the Giants dropped a close one to the Chiefs, losing by 3, and an outright win against New Orleans. This is all against 2 excellent teams. Now, for the Titans, this might be a look-ahead spot with them playing the Bills on Monday night. The following week. They're going to pretty much do what they always do, pound the ball through Derrick Henry, but I don't think it's the same team as last year. So I'm going to take my Giants here to keep it close. Hopefully it's a real nasty looking game. And yeah, it finishes within 3. So I'm going to take the Giants plus 5.5. Let's go, New York.
Feels like a look, Grizz. I don't know. Like, it is not surprising that Heavy takes a New York team, but Really good take, by the way, Heavy. And I can't even knock it. New coaching, a more mature team. They're going to have to turn the corner at some time, Grizz. What do you think?
I mean, to be honest, Daniel Jones is not Josh Allen. So I don't know what they think.
I'm not comparing the two, Grizz. Grizz,
I
you
know.
We're not comparing the two, fam. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
I'm
that.
saying that because the expectation is that
Of
they
course.
can change Daniel Jones into a capable quarterback. Unfortunately,
why can't he though? Why can't he?
Unfortunately, Daniel Jones is not a capable quarterback, brother. And that's just the reality. So I don't really trust the
How many years has he been in the league, Chris?
I think 3. This would be his third year, if I'm not mistaken.
He's got time to grow up, bro.
And I think one of those years with no Saquon Barkley, so clearly it was like all the attention was going to be on him on the defense.
I'm not going to say he's going to be a Tom Brady or anything like that, but the kid could get better, bro. So, yeah, I'm going to be going Giants plus 5.5. No surprise, no Cap Nation. Let's get the money. Let's get to the bag. New York Giants, baby.
Heavy's first lock, New York Giants. And we're going to go right back to you one more time. We're well into the 4 o'clock games. And this one, I'm super, I'm excited to hear from you on this one. It's Grizz's favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And then it's my favorite quarterback, Murky, the Minnesota Vikings. Grizz and I are not touching this, but Heavy, you are. What side are you on?
I'm going to be going with the Vikings plus 1.5 on this one. Now, I'm looking at the Vikings for the last couple of seasons under Zimmerman. They haven't been able to get over the hump with him running the show as the head coach. Now, we fast forward to this season. Zimmer is gone. We got Kevin O'Connell, who comes over from the Rams, who are the current champs, and plus a new front office, which was much needed if you ask me. Now, the main thing I'll be looking at is the Vikings' shortcomings last season. Losing 9 games and losing 8 of those by 1 possession or less. Now, this is a team you can count on being a dog or catching points. On the other side, you have the Packers, who are 1-2 against the spread against their division. Last season with an outright loss to the Vikings, outright loss to the Vikings, and an outright loss to the Lions, I should say, and barely covered against a shit Bears team. So I'm going with the Vikings to come out with a bang in week 1, taking them at plus 2.5. Oh, it's plus 1.5, my bad. And yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings, man. I think they're going to, try to come out with a bang for the new year, new season. So
that might be the best take of this whole episode right there. Heavy takes the Vikings for his second lock. I agree. I heard some stat maybe like on NFL TV or something like that. Like Kirk Cousins has been the most efficient quarterback like in the last like 5 seasons. So listen, like we're not all together, but I am remote in Dominican Republic and I can still see the homies. Grizz, you're rolling your eyes right now. What is the problem with that take?
Because it's bullshit. That's why.
Wow.
Kirk Cousins is trash, bro. Let's not do this. The most efficient quarterback in the last 5 years. Where's his MVP trophies, bro?
I didn't say anything about him in particular. Kirk Cousins, he is, bro. For him to be keeping the games close, he is doing his job.
That's what I'm like.
That much.
And
Plus might be going over the top, calling him a superstar, looking at him like a superstar. But yeah,
he's my favorite quarterback, so it is what it is. I'll stand on it.
I don't know why. There's so many other QBs, but he could even be a Lamar Jackson fan. You picking this guy?
That's my favorite team.
Though, I need him to get me the money on Sundays.
Yeah, we take in Minnesota. I'm with you on that one, Heavy. Trust me, my money will be up on Kirk Cousins. That's a big fact. You know what I'm saying?
All right, brother.
We not hearing Grizz on this take. We're going to push it to you, though, Grizz, for the next take. But that was Heavy's second lock, the Minnesota Vikings. I like Heavy's locks this week. I'm not going to lie to you. Grizz, you're up next. Last 4 o'clock game on the docket. We've got the Chargers up against the Raiders. What are your thoughts?
All right. So for my second lock of the week, I'm going to roll with the Chargers. Now I look at this game. I can't help but think about the last game of last year, the regular season. And what was once a possible playoff run turned into a long off season. While the Raiders loaded up on offense, getting receivers like Devontae Adams, which is going to be big for them. the Chargers load up on defense, getting players like Khalil Mack and Derwin James. So aside from the revenge factor, I like the direction that Chargers are going. They have the revenge factor in their favor, -3. I feel confident in the Chargers coming through with a big win. So give me the Chargers.
Locking it up at 3 points. Chargers as a favorite at home up against the Raiders. I really got nothing to say about this game. Never looked at it. Never really thought about looking at it. I mean, Raiders always kind of scare me, but yeah, I don't see why. Shout out to my girl Kelly, who always watches the No Cat Bets feed. So yeah, Chargers all day. Bulls.
This is like teams that I'd rather like kind of just see and what's going on with them before I even get my money involved with them. So yeah. Well, good luck to you, Grizz, on your bets still.
It's been a long time coming. It's one of those teams like Chargers, like they look like they're getting ready to turn it around, you know. And Herbert, yeah,
Herbert is a guy. Though.
He's a talent.
He'll be one of those QBs that they talk about in the next few years still. So I'm not even gonna doubt it. He's way better than that. I'll just say that.
Let's go ahead and move into the Sunday night game. We've got Tampa Bay. They're on the road up against Dallas, but they're still favored 2.5. Tom Brady is back for another season at 76 years old. Heavy, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna be going with the Cowboys plus 2.5 here. To be honest, this is just a fate of Tom Brady. He's got a lot going on in his personal life. If you're watching ESPN, you see everything that's going on with him, his wife, everything. So to me, this could be a distraction more than anything for this team. And they've lost a lot of key pieces, and plus Arians parting ways with the team. So the Bucs are a very public team, so expect them to attract a lot of money in Vegas, especially with it being a Sunday night football game. So this is always a situation I like to fade. Now, this is also a rematch from last year's opener between these two, and the Cowboys could have easily won that game. So I feel like this has revenge spot written all over it. So I'll take Prescott to take charge, step up to the plate, and get the Cowboys a much-needed win to start off the season right. Like, it's only right that Dallas gets a win in their opener. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I look for them to cover and, hopefully win, man. So
I have to say, like,
Cowboys.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys on Sunday night, I should say.
Yeah, and I have to give it to you on that one. Like, you were making me a little nervous with your Gisele Bundchen take at first because.
But you have to take that into key, bro. The man was supposed to retire. You get what I'm saying? He says he's retired. Then a week or 2 weeks before the season, I'm coming back, guys, and his wife is pissed, bro.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of shit going on.
He's sleeping on the couch. That's a big fact. Yeah.
And when you say the Bucs, bro, you think Tom Brady. Everything is Tom Brady. Tom Brady made the Bucs who they are right now. So if nothing's going right with him, a whole new personnel, bro, no new coach, couple players gone, nobody really knows what the Bucs are even going to be capable of. So I'm not saying the season's a disaster, but right now it's going to be shaky to me, especially with all these things going on in his personal life. So I'm going to take the Cowboys. I look for Prescott to step up. And yeah, like, he's always been talked about as a good QB. Like, bro, you got to take it to the next level. So who else better to win against than Brady, right? To take it to that next level. So let's do it. I'm going with the Cowboys, man. Plus 2.5.
Well said. Heavy's third and final lock, the Dallas Cowboys. Shout out my boy Juggy. That's his favorite team too. Shout out Jugular. Grizz, any thoughts on that before we move into the Monday Nighter?
I didn't even know what was going on with him and his wife. I don't watch ESPN, so I'm not really, in the know about all that. What happened with his wife? What's going on?
She didn't want him to come back to the league. She really thought he was done. He's 45 years old. Like, when is he gonna raise these goddamn kids?
Yeah, like, that's the problem, bro. Because he apparently said that he's retired, like, earlier on in the whole, like, after the season, and then, like, just before the season, the man's like, "Yo, I'm coming back. I'm playing." Like. So his wife is going to be obvious, like, bro, when are you going to hang it up? Like, come on. We do this every season, like, So I think she's just tired of it now, bro. Like, but to me, like I said, with him being such a big piece of the Bucs and who they are, like, he's got to be there mentally. I don't know where Tom Brady is right now. So, yeah.
So that's
All right.
heavy. That's Heavy's third and final. The Dallas Cowboys up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're fading them. And then we're going to go right into the Monday Nighter, man. This has been a full slate. Week 1, another
sir.
back for another season of No Cap Bet. Boys, you wanted to add something heavy?
No, I don't have anything for the Monday night game. Who's playing on Monday night, by the way?
We have Denver up against Seattle. This is going to be a box office TV like dream right now. It's definitely a TV game because Russ is going.
I can already see like all the money just on Denver because you got Geno Smith who's starting. Like that's already an automatic fate situation. So,
So let's hear from Grizz. It's his third and final lock. Denver is 6.5-point favorites. Grizz, what's your take?
All right, man. So for my last lock of the week, No Cap Nation, we are going with the Russell Wilson Revenge Tour. And we're taking the Broncos, -6.5. When it comes to expectations, I look at Seattle, and they're a team that doesn't look like they're trying to be competitive. On the other hand, I see a Broncos team who was always a quarterback away from being a contender, and they have that now. And aside from the fact that it's a revenge game, I just can't see how this game is going to be close. So give me the Broncos -6.5. Let's go.
And that only leaves me with, I guess, my final lock, and it is to definitely go against Grizz. Yeah.
Wow. You're betting on Geno Smith, brother?
Give me Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and any whoever y'all got to say is whoever over there in Seattle. I'm not even watching this team other than all I know is as a home underdog last season, they were 2-1 ATS. And it goes back to the same reason why I'm fading Baker Mayfield. If you have a quarterback coming into your town and you know all their tendencies, I'm going to factor that into the line. And I think a bunch of money is going to be dumped in on Russell coming. Let Russ cook. Let Russ cook. Of course, the lights are going to be bright. It's a Monday night. Everybody's going to be watching. And I'm a big fan of Russell Wilson. I love his wife too, which is exactly why I need to go the opposite way. It just feels way too storybook. What? Chill about what?
Sierra, chill out.
No, Sierra's fire, bro. And if the guy ever mashes that up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and No Cap Bets blows up, I will slide, fam. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Bun future too. You know what I mean? But listen, listen, at the end of the day, like I said, this is just a fade of a quarterback against his former team. I did it with Baker. I knew I was going to stand firm. I can't really say much about Denver as a road favorite. That doesn't necessarily make me feel comfortable taking any road favorites this week. And especially when your quarterback has played a whole decade with the team that they're playing against. So yeah, there's no reason for me to want to lay that much. If this was maybe 3 or 4, Denver 2-2 ATS is an away favorite last season. I just don't see enough. Their margin of victory as an away favorite was 3 points. So if this was by a field goal, sure. But I definitely expect Seattle to want to go in and play a tight game. Does Denver win the game? I'm pretty sure they do. Just not by that big of a margin. My third and final lock, the Seattle Seahawks. Go ahead, Grizz. I know you want to clap back.
My only thing is, where are they going to get the points from? Geno Green. This guy's a bum, bro. Where are they going to get the points from? I don't like the fact that Russell's a road favorite too, like being on Denver, because that's cooked into the line. But yeah, like this game is just funny business. May the best man win to both of you guys. It should be interesting Monday night game.
Of my 3 locks, I would probably call this one my bronze because, this is not the one I'm the most confident about. No, for real.
I love it.
I'm going to keep it all the way real. This is No Cap Bets. Let's keep it real. I'm definitely not the most excited about this game.
I'm not questioning anybody's bets, but I don't think you should have put money on Geno Smith. That's just me. It's Russell or nothing still. So, yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I can't see myself getting financially involved. I hear everything you're saying about Pete Carroll knowing him, but that's only so much, right? Like, where are they going to get points from? Like, what is the offense going to look like? Can Geno Smith even run an NFL team, fam? Like, we've seen this already. So, yeah.
I mean, I think the issue with Geno Smith is that you don't need him to be prolific. You just want him to be serviceable. That's, to me, that's the difference.
But he's got to get points too. He's got to score. So I'm going to be looking to how he gets points for the Seattle Seahawks this year. And he might even get benched early. You heard it here early. So, yeah.
Well, that's the Monday Nighter. And we pretty much put all the locks down. This was a good episode, guys. Usually we're like no long talking, but we got a chance to really break everything down. So we got Grizz with the biggest shocker of the world. He's taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No shocker, bro.
Yeah. He's on the Chargers, which I really like. I actually like that one. And we're going to go up against each other because he's taking Denver heavy. You're rocking with New York. Not another shocker there. Very interesting take on the Vikings. I definitely have your back, and a very good, strong case to take the Dallas Cowboys as your third and final lock. And as for me, it's shout out to Davey Boy Smith, Owen Hart. Who else? Jim Neidhart, the Hart Foundation, and especially Brett, because
Hart Foundation.
Yeah,
everybody over there.
We're betting it with our heart. It's the Baltimore Ravens by double digits, not just by 7. We're fading Baker Mayfield. We're taking the Cleveland Browns, 2 AFC North teams, and I'm going to finish it off, like I said, going up against Grizz. It's going to be the Seattle Seahawks as a home underdog, trying to cover the 6.5. If you liked everything that you heard, listened to, now you could watch us on YouTube. When we link up, you're going to get to see all the Manum. Make sure you check us out and subscribe and keep liking it. And thank you guys for all of your support over these last 2.5 years. You know what I mean? There's so many people from Instagram, now on YouTube, and just keeping us going, man. So, I'm happy to have the boys back for another NFL season. And, just to see people really out here supporting it and checking for us is a great thing. So make sure you like, rate, do whatever, subscribe to the podcast. Go ahead, Heavy.
I'm actually really happy right now because we can bring you back to the real. Like, you were kind of CFL in it and doing all these other things. And now we can get back to the real shit. Shout out to the whole No Cap Nation. It's been a minute.
Yep.
I'm happy I'm back. I know Grizz is happy that he's back. The whole team is back, and hopefully we can just provide winners for you guys. So you don't know already. Thanks for listening. Last 2.5 years, we've been grinding it out and trying to give you the best fucking show that we can. So, yeah.
Not to mention, I mean, we cleared another 55% season. Like, we definitely are above the status quo in terms of our picks. And that's the goal this year. Like Grizz always has very high ambitions. He wants them.
Let Grizz tap in with his what he wants us to shoot for this year.
Hey Grizz, let us know, and let the No Cap Nation know what the bar is this year for our record.
What have you set the bar at?
65%.
I love it.
Say less,
folks.
So it's been another episode of No Cap Bets. For my co-host, Heavy 365 and senior top NFL correspondent, Grizz, I am Plus. Bless up.